Hi, today I'm going to show you how to make a sweet little silver and glass earring using my new glass setting templates. When you're working with these lightweight setting templates, you got to remember that the part you're going to use is between the openings, not the openings themselves. And it's a very narrow area. So when you're choosing a texture, be sure you're choosing something very small and tight. I've picked out a few here that work well with these templates. Let's go ahead and get set up and cut one out so I can show you how it works. I'm going to use this one and I need to prepare it with the Cool Slip. When you use Cool Slip, don't be really close. You want to just do a light mist. So you need to be about 8 to 12 inches away and that's it. That's all you need. One little spray like that. And that is enough. Now I'm going to let that sit and dry. And then I got some on my hand. I'm going to rub that on this piece of plastic. I don't want too much on there either. And I'll also go over my roller. And that was just the overspray from that one spray. That is, believe me, more than enough. Too much of this does not work. Also, if you get too much release agent into your clay, it will make your clay crumbly. So, all right, so there we go. I've got that all set up. All right, I'm going to be rolling this out with a yellow and a clear, which is thinner than I usually go. So I'm going to do my pre-roll with a blue and a black. That is the equivalent of 5 cards. And you always pre-roll your clay so that you get a nice smooth surface and you don't have to stretch too far on the texture. It comes out very crisp this way. So now I'm going to roll it on the texture mat. And obviously I can't put my slats just next to this because they wouldn't do anything. I need the same height all the way across, and I get that by just putting 2 more tiles next to it. And I'm going to add that clear. So there's my yellow and my clear. And now I'm going to give it a very firm up and back. There we go. And beautiful. And hopefully that's big enough to do 2 earrings, and I believe it is. Right, I'm going to put that right there. Now, cutting out these small spaces, you need a very fine needle tool. This is the fine perforating needle tool. It is a finer needle than the Ultra Clay Pick, and this is what I would choose for this project. If you watched my video on how to make your own needle tools, I would be using a 0.5 or a 0.3 millimeter needle. I think you can start to see how having a very tight texture is important because we're not going to have very much of it. A broad design just wouldn't show up. So there's the cutouts. Now we got to get the outside. And this is the outside part. Let me take that clay and put it away. And you're going to center that right over the design. Very delicate, not very much clay. All right, let's go ahead and do the other one. Oops, I missed one. Well, I'm just gonna finish it out by hand. And here are our ultralight glass setting earrings. Now you could obviously, these could be earrings without glass. They could be really fun, lightweight earrings all on their own. But we're going to go ahead and dry those, and then we will be attaching the little glass pieces and firing them, and I'll be showing you how to do that next. These are dry now, and you need to be very careful with them. They're very, very delicate. So I'm not going to use big sanding tools on these. If I tried to go at this with a big sanding block, I'd probably just break it. One thing I like are these little sanding needles. These are really nice, and they come in different grits. The gray is the coarsest, and the white is the finest, and the blue is kind of a medium. I probably don't even need the coarse one. But for getting around this outside, hold very close to where you're sanding and keep your hands soft. Do not be gripping really tightly. But this is going to let me just gently smooth. I'm really only looking for rough patches. I'm not trying to sand it down. I'm going to sand it down with the healing tool or a water tool of some kind. That's going to be a lot gentler. So I just got off I'm just getting off any little chips or bumps that are sticking out. And again, being very, very gentle. All right, so I mean, literally that was it. That's all I did on that one. I'm going to do a little bit of beveling because there's a rough spot right there. And now I'm going to take this is one of the little sponge tip applicator tools. It's an eyeliner applicator. And these little sponge tools, you can buy Cool Tools has packages of these with different sizes and shapes. And this is the smallest one. And I can use this to smooth out inside of these little loops and to just make it look a little smoother and a little more refined. And again, soft, gentle hands. Same in here. I'm just going to use this little tool to go into these little cutouts and smooth it out. Gently, gently, gently. All right, now if I want to do any more work around the outside, I'll probably use the healing tool and just, if there's like a little mark that I want to blend out, I'm just blending it out with water. So you can see that looks a little more refined. I'll do this one later, and I'm going to just go ahead and show you how to set the glass on this one. So let's take it out of the tidy tray and get the glass. I want to put that on something just to make it show up better. There we go. And I need to clean this glass. If there is any glass dust if there is any silver dust on the glass when I fire it, it will haze the glass. So I've got a paper towel here, I've got a little alcohol, and I'm going to make sure that that glass is nice and clean. And also, wash your hands. Make sure you don't have silver dust all over your fingers while you're doing this. All right, so I have a clean piece of glass. I've got clean fingers. And now I'm going to take a little paste and I'm going to go around the inside of this with the paste on the top of the little points. And the purpose of this is just to really hold it in place while we get it into the kiln and firing. It isn't the paste that's going to hold the piece together. The glass is actually going to fuse to the silver. I mean, theoretically, I could just set it on there and fire it and it would just stick without the paste. But then it might shift while I'm getting it in the kiln. So this paste is to make sure that I have it exactly where I want it. I'm going to pop that on there. Get it level. And that's it. That's ready to fire. So here are the finished earrings. I think they're just as cute as can be. When you're firing silver and glass together, remember that you need to slow down your kiln. I fire these for $12.75 for an hour. You also need to leave the kiln closed while it's cooling down. Let the kiln get below, 200 degrees before you open it. If you heat glass too quickly or cool it too quickly, you'll get what's called thermal shock, and either the glass will crack or it will pop off the silver. But as long as you use those slow ramp speeds up and the slow ramp down, you'll be just fine.